Yo, what's going on guys, HyperX here, and today I want to talk about God of War Ragnarok, another one of the games that I am super looking forward to. Honestly, after the first game, I cannot wait for the continuation of this saga, and today I want to talk about the rumours surrounding the release date, because honestly, this is one game we still do not know whether we're going to get to play this year. There have been so many sort of back and forths, of course, with various different leaks, rumours, all those kind of things. Honestly, the sorts of things that typically you will take with a pinch of salt. However, with so many games getting pushed into 2023, and of course not hearing anything recently, it does start to beg the question as to whether we can even hope to play this game this year. So today I want to round up what we have on the release date shenanigans so far. So if you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys are hoping to see this year. In fact, let me know if you think you will see this year. Place your bets right now, and of course don't forget to keep it locked for plenty more. Also worth noting, I'm recording this on Friday morning. You know what normally happens? I make one of these videos and then I upload it, and literally an hour afterwards they drop a trailer saying, hey, here's the release date, or they'll drop an announcement that there's an upcoming PlayStation Direct that'll be talking about God of War. So it is entirely possible. If that happens, you're welcome. So, to begin with, let's talk about where we are currently at. The game originally, of course, was supposed to be aiming for 2021, and then of course that was then pushed into a 2022 release window, although when that originally happened, it was just said that it would be releasing at some point in 2022. We weren't given any quarters, there was no sort of Q1, Q2, Q3, anything like that. It was just 2022. Now, a little while ago, there was a date of September the 30th that was found on the PSN backend. However, that was declared at the time as a placeholder. Often what happens is there are placeholders that are typically used sort of the end date of the month. We often see things like December the 31st being an obvious one, whereby it's just not confirmed that it's moved into the next year. So they tend to sort of put that so that then a lot of the time retailers can take pre-orders, different things like that. Either way, the PSN backend supposedly hinted at September 30th, but again, that was declared a placeholder. Following that same placeholder was then moved to December 31st, hence talking about the thing that I just mentioned, where of course they're not necessarily confirming it's been moved into the next year, but that is of course the last perceivable date in the calendar. Games don't release on December 31st, let's be honest, they just don't. A lot of companies want to get them out before Christmas, so that of course people can then buy them for their kids for Christmas, or of course different things like that. Generally speaking, things will not release on the very last date of the year. So again, December 31st is another placeholder. This of course then sparked discussion, and of course sites like Game Reactor then said the game had been delayed until 2023. However, following on from there, Jason Schreier, whom of course we know for many industry leaks, he does tend to have a rather credible history, he did say the game is still due for 2022. Following this, Bloomberg also claimed it is locked in for November 2022. However, following that, you can see this is starting to get a crazy long saga. Following that, the God of War original creator, David Jaffe, claimed that he had heard the 2022 release date was looking sketchy, and there was a 50-50 chance it would be moved into 2023. Now, of course, keep in mind, he was the original creator, he's not working on the current game, so you could of course take what he's saying with a massive pinch of salt, but as somebody that has worked in the industry before, it is natural that of course, even if you leave your current project, you have friends in the industry, you tend to hear things. But it is worth noting, this final comment, Cory Barlog himself, whom of course you know worked on the most recent God of War, and while he's not necessarily taking on the main role in Ragnarok, again, he will of course still be involved in the studio. He followed up with a tweet whereby he quoted David Jaffe directly, and he simply said, "Wait, what?" and of course had a Kratos gif. Of course, therefore implying that he, himself, had not heard this, so you can of course take that with another massive pinch of salt. So already we've gone through a variety of different dates, and we are now closer to knowing whether this game is launching this year or next year. However, following on from there, turning attention again to Cory Barlog, he does love to tease fans. Sometimes he gets involved, sometimes he sort of, just likes to sort of chat with the community, and sometimes he does like to hint at things. And just this past week, in fact, just a couple of days ago, he has been posting a few tweets. On June the 22nd, he posted this, where he says, "Breathed in video game, ... stay calm boy." And of course there is a gif of Kratos, that of course is Kratos from the most recent God of War, not from Ragnarok, but regardless, it of course is rather interesting, and that was June 22nd, which was just 2 days ago. Following on from there, just yesterday, he then posted ... or many dots, and then he of course had the Batman gif where Batman is scratching his chin. That was just yesterday. Now again, this is all very cryptic, you can't really take anything from there, and of course keep in mind, this is also Cory's personal Twitter, so it could also be that he's just posting a gif for the sake of posting a gif. That is also perfectly allowed. However, it is worth noting there is also a rumour doing the rounds. There is actually a God of War Ragnarok dedicated state of play coming, supposedly a week today, or a week yesterday. This of course comes from another Twitter account, another sort of a insider WTF. They have teased that supposedly a potential God of War Ragnarok focused state of play is coming on June 30th, which of course is also the same release date as Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, completely unrelated, but of course it is relevant to this channel because I'm looking forward to Monster Hunter Sunbreak. But that aside, June 30th is supposedly the rumoured date of that state of play, so it could well be that following me uploading this video, they announce it, maybe they wait till next week, or maybe this is not even happening. However, it is interesting because if the state of play does happen, then it does mean the game could still be on track for this year. If you look at a lot of companies these days tend to be doing shorter marketing runs. You do still have some companies like Square Enix or Bethesda who just keep teasing their game for years and years and years and make people wait, but generally speaking, the shifting trend tends to be these days that people tend to announce their game and then have a much shorter marketing campaign, keeping people hyper engaged, and of course they release the game. So if they do begin speaking about God of War Ragnarok next week, we are of course only halfway through the year, it is definitely still very plausible the game could release at the end of this year. Anyway, that's it for the time being. Those are all the current rumours, that's what we have right now. Again, we are no closer to actually confirming the release date, but there are a few things that could well be moving pretty soon. So, as and when we find out more, as and when we hear more, see more, I'll be sure to keep you guys posted because, again, this is a game I'm super looking forward to, so as and when we see more, I'll definitely be sure to make some videos. But for the time being, that is pretty much it. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of any of this. Let me know if you think that is plausible. If you've missed some of our recent videos, be sure to check out one of these ones, and stay tuned for plenty more.